So the first center that the Charlotte Hornets should consider signing from the 2021 NBA free agency would be John Collins. So the Charlotte Hornets have been interested in John Collins for a long time already, and multiple reports say that John Collins considers himself a max player in the league, which led to the Hawks not being able to sign him to an agreement. And he will gain interest from a lot of teams in the league given that he's still only 23 years old. And Collins is going to be a restricted free agent this year, so it's not going to be that easy for the Charlotte Hornets to get him. And first of all, the Hornets will probably not even have enough cap space to sign him at a near max contract. And yes, he will definitely be an upgrade at center for the Hornets and probably a great fit for the team and another fun player to watch. But the money is definitely going to be a problem if he even wants to sign with the Hornets. So the way this can work is potentially a sign-in trade where the Hornets trade like a player like a Miles Bridges away. But I don't think the Hornets would want to waste max money for a player like a John Collins, which is why he's probably one of the least likely options to be able to work out for the Hornets. But now let's hop into player number 2. So the second free agent center that the Hornets should try to target would be Montrezl Harrell. So the Charlotte Hornets actually offered a lot of money to Montrezl Harrell last offseason before he went to take a pay cut to join the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm assuming that Montrezl Harrell will decline his $9.7 million player option this offseason. So it's reasonable to say that the Hornets will probably be pursuing Montrezl Harrell again this offseason, because they clearly have a center problem on their team, and maybe a deal worth like $15 million per year for a starting center job for Montrezl Harrell would be great. Maybe like a 2-year, $30 million contract. I think that would be definitely a good idea for the Charlotte Hornets. But it definitely should not be a long-term contract or more than about $15 to $16 million per year. And Montrezl Harrell is a very fun player to watch, as he showed it on the Clippers and now currently on the Lakers. And of course, he's been on winning teams before, so he has playoff experience. And he's still only 27 years old, so the Hornets could build around him as well. But with that being said, now let's hop on to player number 3. So the third player that the Charlotte Hornets should consider targeting from free agency would be Rashawn Holmes. So currently for the Sacramento Kings, Rashawn Holmes is averaging 14 points, 9 rebounds, and about 2 blocks per game, while also adding in 1 steal per game, while shooting about 65% from the field and 80% from the free throw line. He's probably one of the NBA's most underrated players currently. And of course, so far he started all of his 50 games for the Sacramento Kings this year. He had many nights where he got 20 plus points and 15 rebounds on great efficiency from the field and about like 2 to 3 blocks per game. And reports have said that he's seeking upwards of $20 million per year. And of course, it's going to be tough for the Hornets to clear up enough cap space to be able to provide that for him. And he's still 27 years old, so he definitely has time to improve on his game for sure. But he's been having a breakout year this season, and he's just been a force in the paint. And of course, that's what the Hornets need most on their team. But the main question is, should the Charlotte Hornets actually offer him a $20+ million contract per year? But of course, it would be better if it would be a $17 to $18 million per year contract. But this is definitely a question for the Charlotte Hornets moving forward. But with all that being said, now let's hop into player number 4. So the fourth player that the Charlotte Hornets should consider signing from the 2021 NBA free agency would be Andre Drummond. So Andre Drummond, who is still only 27 years old, is one of the greatest rebounders of all time. And he's shooting close to 47% from the field, which definitely is not ideal for a center like him, which is always in the paint. But that is definitely because of his poor shot selection during the time with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Detroit Pistons. But he recently said that he was actually asked to be the main scorer on those 2 previous teams, which is why he had to have such a big usage off the field. But now, during his time with the Lakers, he definitely understands that he has a very different role on the team. And recently, he's definitely been playing much more smarter and consistent basketball on the court. And his main job should be to be able to set great screens and play good defense, while also being a lob threat on the offensive side of the court and just being an overall presence in the paint. And if he does decide to leave the Los Angeles Lakers following this year, it might be to a team like the Charlotte Hornets, because he still wants a somewhat bigger role on a team. And with the Charlotte Hornets, he probably would not need to worry about players like Montrezl Harrell and Marc Gasol coming off the bench. It would probably be him and Cody Zeller or Bismack Biyombo off the bench. And a contract not more than about $14 to $15 million per year would probably be the ideal case scenario if he were to sign with the Hornets. And he's definitely one of the best rebounders in today's NBA, if not the best. And he's definitely also a great lob threat and an underrated passer as well. And this year, he's currently averaging 16 points per game, while also adding in 13 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game, almost 2 steals per game, and 1 block per game. So let me know what you guys think of these potential signings for the Charlotte Hornets and which player you would want them to sign. But with that being said, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and like this video. It was KNYT here and I'm out. Peace.